Hi everybody and welcome back to another Royal Reviewer video. It's been a moment, it's been a while since I've posted on this channel, but I thought I wanted to get back into it. I am feeling a lot better now ever since my Bell's palsy episode. So anyway, let's get back into some royal family chats. So one thing that's dominating the royal landscape at the moment, which normally is extremely quiet. In August, the royal family are normally on their holidays. It's a time traditionally in the royal schedule when things go really quiet. Newspapers and magazines are scratching for all sorts of royal bits of news. They're regurgitating old news just to get some royal headlines. The only highlights of the summer is normally in previous years when the late Queen was at Balmoral, we get to see who was at church. But we actually have some royal news going on at the moment with regards to Prince William, the British women's football team, the English football team, I should say. You can tell I'm not into football. Look, I'm not into men's football. I'm not really into women's football. It's just not my bag. So anyway, I may get some terminology wrong. So the Lionesses, however, we are extremely proud of the Lionesses for how well they have done. Certainly better than the men's team has done in recent football history. Not that I know too much about it, but the whole scandal that's been breaking, everyone's talking about, is of course the success of the Lionesses. They are in the final in Australia. But Prince William, who is obviously president of the Football Association, now he hasn't been president of the Football Association for, decades. It's a more recent development. And ever since he has been the Football Association president, I think there has only been two men's World Cups, of which he hasn't attended any. But the furore is, of course, over whether or not he should attend the Lionesses final in Australia. Now, the official line that we've had, of course, is from the palace, is that William and his family will be watching from their home. The same with Charles and Camilla. We had messages of support for them and congratulations from Charles and Camilla and, of course, William and family. So they haven't sort of been completely, that they haven't blanked the women's team when it comes to their success. But at the same time, William did not attend the two previous men's World Cups either. He didn't attend the one in Russia for political reasons, and he didn't attend the one in Qatar for, I think, human rights reasons. So actually, since being FA president, William hasn't attended any World Cup. So the allegation, of course, that many people have been saying is it sexist? Is that why he hasn't gone? Has it raised an issue that in women's sport it's still not treated or regarded at the same level as the men's? Now, like I said at the start of this video, for me, it doesn't make any difference whether it's men or women. I'm not interested in football, so I didn't watch the men's World Cup final. I didn't watch the women's World Cup final. I don't watch the Euros. I'm just not into football. And by the way, if you're watching from other countries, we're talking about soccer, as it's known in other places. So for me, I'm not bothered. It doesn't really bother me in any way, shape or form. I'm just not into the game. Or sports of pretty much any kind. Anyway, it's just not my bag. But I think when a nation's team, and it's the national team, and it's doing so well, it does give a feeling of pride. So even though, I don't follow the game, the success of the Lionesses does fill me and I think everyone in the country with a sense of pride. So, should Prince William, the Prince of Wales, be going to Australia? Again, another reason why the the official line is saying that he's not going is because of distance. It is, I don't think you could pretty much get any further away. So they are kind of citing ecological type reasons for the matters of the environment. But you contrast that with, obviously, the Spanish team are over in Australia as well, and Queen Letizia is going. Now, of course, Spain is, a little, about 4 or 5 hours, about 4 hours closer to Australia than what we are here in the UK. But in the great scheme of things, it doesn't really make that much difference. So they are making the effort to go and support their team. But it seems like the UK in general, in terms of the government, just hasn't made adequate plans to go and support the Lionesses should they have got to the final, which of course they have. So we all know that, well, everyone's known that the competition's been taking place. The UK government will have known that the Lionesses had a strong position because they have been performing very well in recent years. So adequate planning, I think, should have been done and put in place just in case they did get to the final, which of course they have. So in terms of officials, I think there was originally a very sort of minor, government official that no one really knows the name of or who they are going to go and support the Lionesses. I mean, I doubt very much the Lionesses would probably look out into the crowds and not even really notice who it was. Whereas, Spain, for example, would be able to recognise Queen Letizia. So I think now they've just scratched around and the government have finally found, I think the foreign minister is now going over. So, but again, it's still not a royal. And I think, when you think back to, 1966, the Queen obviously attended and presented the trophy. I'm not sure. I think people are going to fall into one of two categories. Either the category that William should go, or that, for the environmental reasons, perhaps he shouldn't. Because certainly this does not fall into the Russia and Qatar category of where there is, a justifiable political reason for not attending. But then again, sport is supposed to be above politics. It's all getting rather complicated, isn't it? But I think we still need to cast our mind back to the fact that William has not attended any of the men's World Cup finals. And it kind of throws into question in future if, and it's a big if, but if the England men's team did get to the final and it was in a far-flung location, would William or any other government official be using that same reason? That is a question that we can't really answer because it hasn't happened. So I think it's quite simplistic to just say, well, he's not attending because it's the women's team. I do think there's a massive lack of planning. I think there should have been someone earmarked who was very high up and very official to go. But the Prime Minister's not going, Charles and Camilla aren't going, and it seems that William is not going. Now, there is still time. Do I predict that William will go at some point? I'm not entirely sure. What we don't know is William's whereabouts. We do know it's the summer. We do know that it won't be diary clashes in terms of royal engagements because there won't be any. Now, at some point during the summer holidays, the Waleses are expected at Balmoral. The King has kind of extended the season of the tourist season by 2 weeks, whereas the late Queen would have gone 2 weeks earlier. The King is now going 2 weeks later. So there are a lot of kind of, family members that would attend Balmoral that are now being kind of squished into a more compact time frame. And of course, they don't normally all go at the same time, maybe a few, and we normally get to see who's there when it comes to the church service on Sunday, normally. So William and Catherine could be expected at the time of the final to be up in Balmoral. That could easily be rearranged, I think, or cancelled. They could also be, which I think is most likely, in Norfolk at Anmer Hall. I think that's probably most likely. They could be spending time with the Middletons, and of course they do have a foreign holiday every year anyway. So does it clash with that? Does the women's World Cup final clash with potentially a foreign holiday that William and Catherine might be attending? Again, we don't know their exact whereabouts. So, what do you think? Do you think that William should just hop on a plane, do a quick sort of, 4-day, if you like, trip, or a 3-day trip sort of there, and then pretty much back straight away? After all, he has only got to sit on a plane, although I understand that that can be quite tiring in itself, and you don't really get to sleep properly. Anyway, let me know. Should William put the nation first and go out and support the Lionesses, or should he stay at home with his family and be mindful of nature and the environment? Do let me know in the comment section below what you think. This is a minefield. This story will continue to rumble on until after the final. Will William go? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.